Pokemon is over 20 years old now, and since the beginning, the most well-known Pokemon is Pikachu. Pikachu's become so well-known that it has appeared as the version mascot and starter Pokemon in Yellow version. It's appeared on Currency, a Macy's Balloon, and so many trading cards you could probably charge up Los Angeles with them all. And it seems every time Pikachu makes an appearance, it looks a little different. In the 90s, it was fat and cuddly. Nowadays, it's the fuzzy yellow incarnation of Jonah Hill. And over the years, it's donned various costumes: wrestler, pop star, doctor, and even other Pokemon. But some of the most iconic Pikachu variants are those that can learn specific moves. Flying Pikachu can use balloons to fly, and Surfing Pikachu uses a surfboard. Yeah, that's how you know Pokemon started in the 90s. Surfing was what all the cool kids did back then. But here's an important question. Could Pikachu actually learn fly and surf? Well, the simple answer is yes. How? Well, Flying Pikachu can be obtained using the Pokewalker accessory that came with Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Surfing Pikachu, though, was an actual thing that you could get in the original Pokemon games. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get one of your very own. Here's what you'll need. Obviously, you'll need a copy of the original Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow games on the Game Boy. Next, you'll need a copy of Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. As you can see, I'm using my special Pokemon-themed Nintendo 64, which I made a video about a few months ago. And finally, you'll need this. It's a transfer pack, and it allows you to plug your Game Boy games into your Nintendo 64 controller and play them on your TV. Unfortunately, it only works for a few games, but the original Pokemon games are among them. Now let's stop and think about this for a second. I'm playing Pokemon Yellow through Pokemon Stadium on a Pokemon-themed controller using a Pokemon-themed Nintendo 64. This is what I've been dreaming of doing my whole life. I also have to mention, there's a lot of setup for this to work, and I spent over 40 hours in my Pokemon Yellow game grinding to this point, and another 20 recording Pokemon Stadium footage for you guys, so I hope you appreciate my sacrifice in making this video happen. What kind of setup do you need? Well, obviously, if you want to teach Pikachu Surf, you need to get a Pikachu. In Pokemon Yellow, that's easy. It's your starter Pokemon. But then you need to use your exact Pokemon team in the Game Boy game to beat the game in Pokemon Stadium so you can unlock the feature that teaches Pikachu Surf. Luckily, Psychic-type Pokemon in this generation are very overpowered, so a Mewtwo with Amnesia should carry you through the game no problem. I also have my Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, and Mew with me. Why those? Well, apart from it being a well-balanced team, I just wanted to show you what Mew looks like in Pokemon Stadium. When the game first came out, most of us didn't even know Mew was real, so seeing it in Pokemon Stadium is kinda surreal to me. Anyway, with all that setup out of the way, next we need to beat the game. How do we do that? Simple. We go to the stadium and select Prime Cup Master Ball Division. You will face 8 battles, each harder than the last, in a true test of Pokemon mastery. You can't take a break. You need to battle one after the other 8 times in a row, and as a prize, you get the option of teaching your Pikachu Surf. Sounds simple enough? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The cup is simple. Beat 8 trainers, then you win. In order to unlock Surfing Pikachu, you can't save and leave though. You have to do it all in one sitting. But the game is forgiving. If none of your Pokemon faint, you get an extra continue. If you lose a battle, you can use one of your continues with no penalty. I think it's absolutely adorable how, if you bring Pikachu in from Yellow, it actually talks in its anime voice.
Oh, it's Pikachu!
My Pikachu is pretty powerful too, so I'm able to actually use it. Most of the time though, I rely on Mewtwo. It may sound cliche, but Mewtwo is the most powerful Pokemon in this generation. Anyway, this whole process takes between 45 and 60 minutes, but once it's over, you're all ready for your reward.
And there goes the battle!
Whew. Now that was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole life. But we won! And now it's time to receive our Surfing Pikachu prize. Where's my Surfing Pikachu? They were supposed to give me a Surfing Pikachu! Where's my Surfing Pikachu? Did I miss a step? Well, here's the deal. You are supposed to go through the Prime Cup, but not only once, but twice. But that's not all. To unlock the second round, you have to defeat the Mewtwo boss. How do you defeat the Mewtwo boss? You have to unlock it. How do you unlock it? You have to defeat the Gym Leader Tower. So there's a lot more work than I thought. It looks like I'm going to be here for a while, but I really want that Surfing Pikachu, and I will get that Surfing Pikachu if it is the last thing I do. Each gym has 4 people. 3 of them are random trainers, and the 4th is the gym leader. Each leader works the same way as in the regular games. Same names and same specialty. So to get through every single gym, you need to battle a total of 32 trainers. So it takes a long time to get through the gym leader castle, but luckily I have my trusty Mewtwo with amnesia to get me through it all. Sometimes to break up the monotony of it all, I switch to other Pokemon, but as long as you use the same in-game team as you used for Surfing Pikachu, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. After the gym leaders are all taken care of, there's still another challenge, the Elite Four. Unlike the gyms, here you battle each of the Elite Four in a row. They're all super hard, and it actually took me a few tries to beat them.
Oh, it's frozen solid!
Stupid freezing hacks! Thanks, Nintendo. After the Elite Four is beaten, you have one final challenge, your rival. This is one of the hardest battles in the whole game, and it took a lot of work to beat him.
Major damage! Gone! It's a one-hit wonder! Congratulations! You cleared the gym leader castle!
I did it! I beat my rival! Woo! Alright, now at long last, we can get to Mewtwo, so we can beat Mewtwo and get our Surfing Pikachu! Hitmonlee? I got Hitmonlee? What kind of stupid prize is that? Look, I already have one in my yellow game. Why can't Pokemon Stadium be smart enough to look in your game and see what Pokemon you already have in there and just give you the other one? No, now I have 2 Hitmonlees and still no Surfing Pikachu. And where's Mewtwo? The whole point of me going through the Gym Leader Castle was to get Mewtwo. Did I miss another step? Oh, Llama God. I did. Guess what? To unlock Mewtwo, you need to not only defeat Gym Leader Castle, but also Prime Cup and all the other cups in the stadium, all on the hardest difficulty. And for the Petite Cup, Pika Cup, and Poke Cup, there are level restrictions, which means I can't use my yellow version team. I have to use the rental Pokemon, which are set to the lowest possible level and are given the worst possible movesets by default! This is unbelievable! The amount of time that you have to go through in order to get your Surfing Pikachu is stupid! You could use that time for so many other things. You could play the actual Pokemon games. You could go to postgraduate school and get a degree in metaphysics. You can invent a time machine to go back in time and stop Bob Hoskins from signing on to play Mario in Super Mario Brothers. You could watch YouTube tutorials. But I really, really want that Surfing Pikachu. Thanks, Nintendo. Thanks so much, Nintendo. I really appreciate it. You have no idea. Well, when you finally go through all that, you face Mewtwo. Luckily, no matter what you did before, you can pick whatever Pokemon you want, so of course I went with my yellow team, and this is the only battle in the whole game where you get to bring all 6 of your Pokemon, so beating Mewtwo was a breeze. Afterwards, your Pokemon Stadium title screen changes to this, which I never saw as a kid, probably because getting to this point back then would have been nothing short of a miracle. Then the next step is to go back to the stadium, enter the Prime Cup, and go through the divisions one at a time. By this point, my Mewtwo has used Amnesia so much it's probably forgotten if its favorite number is 2 or purple. Anyway, when you finally get to the Round 2 Master Ball Division and Prime Cup, you just go through it like I did in the beginning. Now's a good time to mention, make absolutely sure that you bring Pikachu with you into the final battle. It doesn't have to be high level like mine is. You can catch a level 3 Pikachu in Viridian Forest and bring it with you for all the game cares, but you need to bring it with you when you go into the final battle. You don't have to use it, but of the 3 Pokemon you pick, one of them has to be Pikachu. But now, at long last, as long as you win the final battle...
And there goes the battle!
Finally! I've been playing this game, grinding in Pokemon Yellow, playing Pokemon Stadium out the wazoo, and finally, what do I have to show for it? A Surfing Pikachu! Now, what can you do with a Surfing Pikachu? Well, aside from Pikachu pulling out a surfboard in Pokemon Stadium and using this cool overworld sprite in Pokemon Yellow, there is actually something you can do with Surfing Pikachu. In Pokemon Yellow, if you have one in your party, go to this house on Route 19. Here, you unlock a minigame where you can actually surf as Pikachu. Wow, this is exciting. This is so exciting. I'm going to have my smile removed from my face because of how exciting this game is. Well, that's it. That's how you get Surfing Pikachu in the original games. Now, I know what all of you are wondering. Does this work in the Pokemon Virtual Console games for the 3DS? And the answer is no. See, in order to get them in these old games, you need to actually have an actual cartridge of these games, and you also need to have a copy of Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64, you need a Nintendo 64, and you need a controller for the N64, and you need a transfer pack for the N64, all of which need to work. This is actually my 3rd transfer pack that I got just for this video. The first 2 didn't work, and they weren't made to work very long because, this was the 90s. We didn't think that this technology would be reliable or appealing 20 years in the future, so the fact that I got everything to work here is nothing short of a miracle. That does make me wonder, though. What does happen if you go to the house in Pokemon Yellow Virtual Console without a Surfing Pikachu? Maybe there's some special instructions on what you're supposed to do, since you can't get a legitimate Surfing Pikachu in these games. They just let you play the minigame? You don't even need a Surfing Pikachu? You mean I spent 40 hours grinding in this, 20 hours recording footage for this, and all I needed to do was just flip this 3DS open, go to Route 19, and just talk to the guy? Thanks, Nintendo! But you know what? I had a lot of fun. It was great being able to revisit Pokemon Yellow after so many years, and now I have a legitimate Surfing Pikachu right here in my hand. And it was also really fun to go back and play Pokemon Stadium, which I adored as a child. Back in the 90s, Pokemon Stadium was the best thing to happen to the Pokemon fans. Seeing our favorite Pokemon in 3D, fighting it out as if they were right there in front of us, was a huge treat. I know the graphics may look primitive now, but back then, they were so realistic, it felt like we were Pokemon trainers. And in a way, right now, I am a real Pokemon trainer. I taught my Pikachu surf. using completely legitimate methods that Nintendo programmed into these games as sort of an Easter egg. If you figured out how to do this, and if you had enough blood, sweat, and tears within you in order to accomplish this, then you could hold in your hand a legitimate Surfing Pikachu, no matter if it was the year 1999 or the year 2017. Here I am with a Surfing Pikachu in my hand, and that's just an awesome feeling to me. And Pokemon Stadium isn't my only N64 game either. I have so many more, each with a different story to tell. And now that I poured so many hours into this game, it makes me feel like it's time to move on to the next ones. All of these stories to tell, and I feel that it's my time to tell them. What do you say? Are you in? Hi everyone, this is Skul. If you liked the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, hit that little bell so you get notifications whenever I upload a new video. That does it for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.